So some quick instructions on how to use our Amazon pricing calculator. So the first thing we've got is on the summary page. We've got some details here. So here you can set your home currency, which in this case AUD, but you can put in US dollars or USD. The details of which currencies you can put in are up there. We can put in your product. So it just shows up on each page. So if you print it up, you know which product we're relating to. You can put in a target gross profit rate. Now this really only affects the numbers down below in terms of just a guide, and the target gross profit in dollars. And one of the things we do is we bring up the current exchange rates. So we've linked it into a feed that delivers the current exchange rates. So if you wanted to update it, you go to data and click refresh all, and it'll give you the dates, the most current dates for that day. So in this, we've got a range of prices. So I've set it up. So in Amazon, you're kind of changing your prices around. So it's giving you the option of looking at a whole series of different prices. Now you can adjust it. I'll show you how to adjust these later, but this is really just a summary. So it's saying if your price is $20, your profit in local currency, in this case US dollars, is going to be $6.08, and the gross profit's 30%, and the profit in your home currency, we've set for AUD, is $7.75. Now, where we said before we had a target gross profit rate, you can see how these are red, and these ones here are red as well. So if we wanted to decrease the target gross profit rate to say 30%, you can see the colours just change. And so what we can do is we can go through and we'll look at Europe full VAT, Europe reduced VAT scheme. Now this assumes that you've just registered for VAT in the UK. It doesn't take into account distance selling or pan-European selling, because that's kind of a more complicated procedure. So we've just got it for register for VAT in the UK and how you price your product. So we can price it as euros or as pounds, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars. So a variety of different options there. So if you want to click through to the Amazon, let's go the USA one, which will just take you to this next tab here. We can see here we've got the test product, we've got the currency of the market, the home currency, and just gives you a quick exchange rate, what the latest exchange rate is. And then we can change all these figures. So if your figures are $10 and you're looking at $10, $11, you can change these around to whatever range you want to have in relation to that. So we've got here we can set our product costs. So we've got the unit cost, and let's say that's in US dollars, but let's say we wanted to have it in Australian dollars. It will provide the local cost, in this case US dollars, and so we can change those around. So we've got the freight costs, we can change that to say 50 cents, the FBA costs, Amazon commission, and foreign exchange fees. Now if you're dealing with other currencies, you need to think about pricing in your foreign exchange fees. So we can calculate the total cost of goods sold, the profit in the market currency, in this case being US dollars, and the gross profit rate. But what it'll also do is convert all of that into, in this case, Aussie dollars being the home currency. So we can see exactly how much we're making and whether that's in the target in our own dollars. And so we can go through and say, okay, we're going to be using it in what's the price in euros. Accordingly, we can settle these things. Now, in this case, the FBA costs are designed as it's not pan-European. It's just in pounds rather than any other currency, so we can set it there. We can have it under a reduced rate scheme. Now, the difference between the reduced rate scheme is that could be 6.5% or 7.5%, but you're paying less here than the normal 20%, but you're going to be paying the VAT on import. And in this case, you don't pay VAT on the FBA fees. So we've got UK, we can set it by pounds, the reduced rate scheme. If you're in Aussie dollars, if you're GST registered, it'll take into account what your position will be after GST. And if you're not registered for GST, what the effect will be. So in that case, you're paying more on your GST and import. You're not getting credit for those. And we can see it again in Canada, if your GST registered or not. Now, Canada's got different rates, 5%, 13%, 15%. I've just put in 10%. You're going to have to work out what you expect that commission to be for Canada. And we can also change these around in terms of what the GST is going to be if you're not registered for GST. And of course, you can change your FX exchange rate variance there. And we can see here we've got all the variety of currencies that feed in. So what you have to do is basically put in your home currency and then set what prices and costs you've got, and it will calculate what prices you should be having so that you can actually make sure that you're making a profit on your products.